Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Barry, That Goat Metal Show, episode 13, the Quarantine Division. Hey, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's being safe and they're okay during this time. And by the way, this episode is not for kids. So please, I don't want to hear nothing from nothing. I don't want to hear nothing from YouTube trying to come after me. I said it, not for kids, so y'all can just get off. All right, thank you very much. All right, and this one I wanted to go do a little something. You know, ever since I'm home, I'm working from home, and you get a lot of times to just basically sit down and just listen to music. So I'm just putting on my iPod and I'm just letting music run around, playing my PlayStation and just listening to music. And then it comes to me that you start listening to certain songs, even though you've had them already and but you never really pay attention to certain songs off these albums. A lot of times, if you're on your iPod or whatever, you fast forward to maybe the better songs that you want to listen to. But, you just bypass them. But, sometimes just sit there and just let the songs play. Let the songs play. And by the way, that was suffocation for you. So, I'm playing off my iPod right now. And, I just wanted to go through some of the bands that I was listening to that just really catch me, and I said, "Damn, man, these are some good damn songs, good shit to listen to." So I said, let me put this out there. Maybe draw your attention. Maybe you hear some of the songs, and maybe you want to go and gravitate to maybe listening to some of these bands. So right now, this band that's playing, a lot of people maybe never even heard of them. I picked them up from my son. This was back when the whole metalcore thing was starting off in the early, the mid 2000s. This band is called Winter Solstice. All right, it's the cover of the album. Winter Solstice. The album was called The Fall of Rome, and I gotta say, the whole album is actually pretty good. I don't hear it as much as as I did maybe the first few times I've heard them in the past. But Winter Solstice was one of those bands that was part of that scene that, really wasn't as popular as a lot of them, but they were really good. As you could hear, good music, man. These guys know how to play their instruments. I could tolerate the vocals. Vocals is really good. And everything goes around really well. It's enjoyable. It's not boring. I really do enjoy this band. They were really good. Winter Solstice falls in a very small package of bands that I liked back in that day. Well, Winter Solstice, Straight Line Stitch, Diecast, there's a few other bands leading through. Those bands were, they had their own element, but it was great. I enjoy it, and good stuff. Let's go on to the next one. Let me see what was the next one I had here on what I was listening to. Okay. Can't go wrong with Testament. Testament, this album, Low. I remember when this album first came out, and I guess it was during the time when they did Practice. It was right after Practice to Preach, and they did that EP. What was it? I forgot the EP that came out right after it. But this album didn't really get a big push like when Practice What You Preach came out. I think it's a great album. It's got a lot of good songs. This song is called Legions in Hiding. And, you sit there listening to it and just realize, what kind of direction Testament was trying to go through after Practice to Preach. I think they were trying to get more into that heavy element, instead of like the thrash that they had, which was a little bit more commercial at the time when Practice What You Preach came out. But this one was a little bit more heavier. You could hear it. It's just more darker and more moody, And Chuck's vocals, he just was, I guess, experimenting more on the more low end of his vocals instead of more of the higher end. But yeah, I really do enjoy this album, Testament Low. Give it a listen. I mean, if anybody hasn't listened to some of these albums in a while, you should just take a look, man. See what you think. All right, we'll go to the next one. Let's see what was the next on my list there. Okay. All right, can't go wrong with some classic death metal. All right, this is off the first album, Immolation, Internal Decadence from Dawn of Possession. In case of anything, that's the cover of the album. All right, Dawn of Possession. It's a classic death metal album. You can't go wrong with that. Anybody who's wanting to listen to some death metal, I recommend listening to some Immolation. They're from over here in Yonkers, New York. You know, pride of Yonkers, and they're still going strong. Immolation, gotta give it to you guys, man. You guys have not failed as far as being who you are, and y'all still going strong. I give Immolation a lot of credit. This album, Dawn of Possession. Remember watching them live and playing this album is just amazing. They're always great live too. So, all right, let's see what's the next one. All right. I know a lot of you guys, especially some of my friends, are not really into this band. This band is called My Dying Bride. This song is called The Raven and the Rose. It's off the album The Dreadful Hours. Okay, this album I recommend for anybody who's into more of the slower edge stuff. Give this a listen. Great stuff. They have an element of being heavy, slow. They just catch your mood on all ends. You know, their songs are long. I mean, you know, a lot of the songs, like this one, is about 7.5 minutes long. But great band, man. Great fucking band. I would definitely give them a listen. You know, check out the other albums. Turn Loose the Swans. Or, you know, they have other albums, you know, give them a try, you know. Or if not, go on YouTube, you check out some of their live stuff. Their live stuff is pretty good. They did a great show in Argentina some years back. I got that as one of my favorites. Great fucking band. Great band. All right, let's see, you know, what's the next one we got. Okay, if anybody who remembers or who still listens to Arch Enemy, this is from the album Anthems of Rebellion. Okay, Anthems of Rebellion. Okay, Marching of a Dead End Road, and you know, it's basically, I think it's just an instrumental. But you know, I sat there listening to it, and I was like, wow, sounds really cool, you know. And I'm trying to like think back, where, you know. Of course, you know, then I'll go and I'll look at my iPod like, oh shit, man, it's freaking Arch Enemy. You know, good stuff, you know. I mean, that band, they're fucking amazing. Amazing musicians. The girls they got singing for them, they're from this album until who they have now. Amazing. Anybody want to listen to, you know, listen to some Arch Enemies, you know, good stuff. All right, going further. All right. Another band from that time, where I still put in that small group. All That Remains. Okay, this is It Dwells Me In, The Fall of Ideals. Okay, it's the cover right there. And you know, this is pretty much what you got off metalcore. You know, back and forth with the hard and soft vocals here and there, but All That Remains always did their stuff good. Of course, this was another band that my son pretty much got me into back when that whole big uprising of metalcore bands was coming out. But this is one of the bands I do enjoy, and I still listen to them to this day. All right, and if anything, you know, give them a whirl. Pretty good guys, man. Pretty good. Okay, let's go on the next one. All right, another classic death metal band, Aspects. Aspects Into the Time Waste from the album Death Hammer. Okay? Cover right there. I would give them a listen. Alright? Especially if you're into the classic death metal. Great shit, man. You know? I don't know, you know, what else can I say? You know? You can't go wrong with classic death metal. Alright? Classic death metal. Alright? That's all I gotta say. Moving on. Okay. We got Cavalera Conspiracy. Torture from Blunt Force Trauma, second album. And honestly, you know, I do dig Max and Soulfly. I dig them. You know, I'm still one of the purists of the original old Sepultura sound. But if you're a purist like me with Sepultura, this is where you're going to get it. The Cavalera Conspiracy gives you that element of Sepultura. And I'm always going to enjoy them. You know, Max and Igor together, it just gives you that element of what it was like to listen to Sepultura back in the day. You know, when they did Arise. And that's my favorite Sepultura album. I love fucking Arise. Moving on. Cavalera Conspiracy. There you go. People who need to cover the album. There you go. Alright. Let's move on to the next one. Alright. We're going to go right into Hatebreed. Give wings to my triumphs from Supremacy. I don't know. There's nothing negative to talk about Hatebreed. I mean, I remember Hatebreed from way back when. Back in the early days when my band played. They played in pretty much the same places we did. And, you know, they deserved their rise. They went through the slums like everybody else, and they still sound great. All right? And if this is an album that most people who want to try to listen to Hatebreed or want to get a little taste of them, this is a great album to listen to Hatebreed. All right? So, let's go to the next one. All right, okay. All right, Cannibal Corpse, classic death metal again. This is off the new one of the new albums. This is from Skeletal Domain, Ice Pick Lobotomy. Okay. In case you know, this is the cover of the album right there. Right. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with Cannibal Corpse. You know, all the albums brutal as hell. I mean. This album is, you know, it's you know, I still have my favorites from the older stuff, but can't go wrong, man. It got a nice groove, and, you know, they're always going to keep you entertained with their lyrics, especially if you read them, because a lot of times people don't understand what he's saying, but oh well, you know. Okay, one more. All right. All right, we got, fucking another classic. This is Dying Fetus. Streaks of Blood from Grotesque Impalement. Okay, for you guys who need to see the cover of the album, there you go. Cover of the album right there. Dying Fetus, I got to see them back, it was in the mid-90s at Deathstock at the Wetlands, when they first came out. And when I tell you that these guys came on stage and blew everybody away, they did. And they had a lot of, they opened up for, it was Broken Hope, Cannibal Corpse, Unleashed. That was, yeah. You know, this guy started singing. You know, we were amazed at his vocals. You know, I was in the front like, wow. So, can't go wrong with Dying Fetus, right? Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, this is Deicide, One with Satan, Overtures of Blasphemy. Okay, I know a lot of people are not really, as far as like the hardcore, I'm a hardcore Deicide fan from back in the days, you know, and, you know, everything had their reasons of how everything turned out between him and the Hoffman brothers, but it is what it is. I'm just glad that they're still putting out music and keeping an old soul like me enjoying them. All right. Of course, they got, you know, much better albums, but this is a really cool song. Great. You know, it has a lot of good songs on this album. Give it a listen. Okay. Oh, yeah. Cover the album just in case. All right. All right. And let's see. Let's go to. All right. Last but not least, Diecast. And Traitor. I could give this song to anybody who's fucked you over. The lyrics are perfect. Perfect. Alright? Alright, this is from the album Tearing Down Your Blue Skies. Goes the cover of the album right there. I love this song. Love this song to death. The lyrics. You know, there's one person in particular in my mind that I can give it to right now. You know. But I'll keep it nameless at this point. You pretty much know who you are. Destroying families and shit. But we'll keep it like that. And, you know, when you get a chance, I recommend anybody to listen to this album. Listen to this song. The lyrics are fucking amazing. You know, can't be. It's Traitor. It just tells you about everything that somebody fucking you over. Alright, so before I end this, we're gonna end it with this really dope ass breakdown this song has right now. Check this shit out. Great song. Alright guys, well look, I think I might just do something like this, you know, for the future videos. You know, just, you know, you should do that. Put on your iPod and just listen to the music without fast forwarding. And you'll be surprised with some of the shit you're going to run into that you're going to be like, damn, that shit is actually pretty good. Damn, what album is this? And you're going to be so shocked that you never really bother to give certain songs a listen. So we'll try this again another time. You know, I'll breeze through some stuff and see what comes up across. And we'll probably turn this into a little thing since we're all tied up here in this freaking hellhole of a quarantine, right? Alright guys, stay brutal and be safe out there, right? Wear your mask, wash your hands, and be good to everybody, right? Peace out.